Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the period of July 19th to the 25th. So let's get started and see what messages we have for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the upcoming week. Ooh, this is a funny shuffle. Here we go. And let's get started. I hope everyone is doing well. And make sure to watch the videos for your other placements because then you'll get the whole picture of what is coming up for you. Okay, Taurus, let's get started here. Lift those up a bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, my Taurus friends, what I can see here for you is that right now you're at a place where you're still, this has been coming up for Taurus a lot. So you're still in that place where you're wondering, should I stay or should I go? Should I keep investing in this area that I'm working on now, or should I diversify and invest elsewhere? Should I keep working on this that I have been working on this for some time now, and it's gotten to a place where I feel like, maybe it's time to do something else. Maybe you're starting to feel a little bit, maybe there's a feeling of stagnation, a feeling of boredom, a feeling of, there's definitely a decision though, definitely a decision to make about, do you stay on this path or do you shift to a different path? And that seems to be what needs to be brought into alignment for you next week, Taurus. You need to sort of make a decision about this, and maybe you need to step away from it for a little while so that, sometimes when we focus too heavily on something, it's difficult to see what we need to do. So right now you're at the place where you're trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong, and you're kind of being black and white about it. You're sort of looking at this as that there is a good and a bad decision, that you're sort of assigning meaning to all of the outcomes and saying that's a bad outcome, that's a good outcome. I like this, I don't like this. When it's almost like you don't know what else is out there yet, right? Like you're sort of making decisions in your mind about what's good and bad based on perception, right? Not experience, because you haven't actually stepped away from this for quite some time. You've been working on something for a long time and doing it. You've been active in, maybe this is a job, maybe this is a relationship, maybe it's something that has provided you with an identity. So it could very well be what you do for a living. A lot of us tend to identify ourselves based on what we do to earn money, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because that's not really who you are at all. It's just how you make money. You know what I mean? But we tend to make that who we are all the time. And so it's like you're looking at it, but without experience. You're just looking on it based on perception, trying to decide what's right or wrong without having tried anything else other than this thing that you've been doing for quite some time. So, my dear Taurus, what process are you on? Well, you're on the process of discovering what your ultimate wish is. What is the ultimate way that you will feel fulfilled, Taurus? That is the process you're on right now, trying to understand your emotional fulfillment for yourself. And it's challenging you right now. You're not sure what this is. You're not sure what emotional fulfillment looks like, maybe because you are waiting for something. It's like you're waiting for something to happen from the external world so that you can finally decide to be happy. When really, it might just be a question of appreciating what you have now and sort of re-looking at it from a different perspective, Taurus. You might be sort of looking at your life now and thinking that it might be greener on the other side, right? But you know what? The grass is always greenest wherever you water it. So wherever you place your intention and you give your dedication, that is what's going to grow. right? So this action, this is a card that's in the placement of what the action is here. The action that you are being guided to take is to really look at the beautiful prosperity that you have built and understand, this is a 10, keep in mind, understand now that taking this to the next level is going to be something that involves you really being grateful for what you have now, so that you can, if you decide to shift gears, you know that it's not about who you are. Your identity is solid. The 10 of Pentacles is really a time where you realize that the inner being is consistent, right? And doesn't require the external world to validate it at all. This is a card of inner satisfaction and identity and grounded and secure. This is inner, right? This is an expression of feeling that on an inner level. And so that is not shakeable by the outer world. You know, when you think about it, your inner peace should be constant. It's a constant that, you know, only is impacted by the external world when we let it be impacted by the external world. Your feelings are not who you are. I've been saying this a lot to my clients lately, that, you know, when someone says, how are you doing? And you say, I am sad, or I am unhappy, or I am bored, that is not who you are. That is just a feeling. So we have to be very careful when we assign these I am statements to feelings, because right now, dear Taurus, I can see that you're bored and you're dissatisfied emotionally. You are feeling these feelings. That does not mean that's who you are, but it's almost like you're saying that to yourself. Instead of saying, I feel bored with where I am at currently, right? Instead of saying, I feel bored, you're saying, I'm bored. Instead of saying, I feel dissatisfied, you're saying, I'm dissatisfied. I am dissatisfied. That is a huge message to be sending out in your correspondence to the universe. We all have to be very mindful of not saying, I am my feelings. No, you are much more than your feelings. Your feelings are a signpost, but they're not a fact, Taurus. Just because you feel something does not mean it is. It just means that's how it made you feel, right? It doesn't change that inner core. It's just sort of like an experience that makes you say, wow, that experience really made me feel sad. Let's look at that. Why did that make me feel sad? It didn't make you sad. You are more than your feelings, Taurus, and it feels like that is the message here. So when you are choosing your next path forward, remember that the core of you is not your feelings. You are far more than your feelings. And I want to get some oracle card messages here for you as well. I think you're trying to make a shift. You're trying to shift into a new activity. This seems very much action-based. There is something that you want to do differently than you're doing it now, and it might be your job. It might be your perspective. You might be trying to evaluate, well, listen, I've been sort of perceiving my world in this way this whole time. What if I try to perceive my world from a different perspective? How will that change things? Because right now you're feeling a bit emotionally dissatisfied. You're bored. You are feeling bored right now. Something has to shift here for you because you're not having this anymore. Okay, let's get some oracle messages. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's get 3, please. 3. Oh, just getting out of hand. 3 and 4. Thank you. 4 went on the floor. 4 on the floor. Okay. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so my dear Taurus, what do the oracle cards have to say for you? The oracle cards are echoing a lot of what we just talked about, but they've added a new dimension here of soulmate. This is very interesting. So this could this is sort of throwing in a beautiful sort of new dimension to your reading, where it looks like there is something to do with the union that you're in, Taurus, or that you will be entering in a union. This is very interesting. Let's look at them from the top, though. So blessed, and then peace, soulmate, and happy, happy. So what that says to me in relation to your reading, Taurus, is that you don't need to worry too much, okay? Right now, I think that you are stressing a little bit about this, do I stay or do I go? And this blessed card, I feel, has come to say to you, no matter what, you're blessed. So look for the option that gives you peace and hold on to that, what did we say, inner peace, and don't let it be swayable, right? Let it be a constant that you hold, because Taurus, you know, you could have your ultimate wish fulfilled here once you figure out what that is. You've sort of got to decide that, and the basis of that decision should be what makes you happy and what gives you peace. Okay, so peace and happiness are your signposts here. Look for peace and happiness. Stop trying to evaluate this based on good and bad, because then you're just going to end up comparing yourself to other people, and comparisons don't get us very far. We just usually end up feeling like we're not enough, and then that sets all of this backwards. Now, the interesting thing here is this soulmate card. So this makes me think, because it's landed right under the 10 of Pentacles, that you are either in your soulmate relationship and don't realize it, or you are about to enter it. And this might be the only really stable thing right now that you count on in your life, but you might not realize that this is actually your soulmate. Taurus, this is actually, I just want to pull a clarification here. This is making me think that potentially, for some of you anyway, this do I stay or do I go, you're questioning your relationship that you're in. And I think Spirit is trying to tell you your relationship is a soulmate connection, and it is blessed. So it's not your soulmate that's making you feel bored and dissatisfied. You have these feelings because it's like you're looking to the external world to find that inner peace. When it's an inner peace, you're not going to find it in the external world. So I just want to clarify here. This soulmate card has come here for what reason? Thank you. We've got two cards. Interesting. So we see the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Swords. So that says to me that this soulmate union that you're either in or entering into is one that is blessed. And it is also one that will change you in terms of how you perceive it. Now, if you're already in this union, my dear Taurus, I would suggest that you need to have a change of mind about how you currently perceive this relationship. Maybe you're not paying attention to this person as much as you need to. Maybe you don't see them as integral to your life as they actually are. You might not be, maybe you're taking this person for granted, Taurus. This is very interesting. This person who's in your life or is entering your life right now is going to be part of your family, and they are going to be part of your inner peace. They will be a stable foundation that is next to you as you try to figure out what to do. But it's interesting because if your questioning is, do I stay or do I go in relation to this relationship? It's a very interesting question if that's what you're asking yourself, Taurus, because you are going to be getting some news here. It appears like you are in good standing to have this Wheel of Fortune bring you something positive. But at the same time, when I see the Ace of Swords next to it as the clarification on this, it really makes me think that you need to start looking at this relationship in a new way. You need to look at this relationship in a new way, because maybe you're not seeing it as being so foundational as it is. You might not be. This is very interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for you, Taurus. If this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email is in the description below. As always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you very soon for another reading. Lots of love and light.